Once upon a time, there was a small kingdom where a beautiful girl named Cinderella lived. She lived with her stepmother and 2 stepsisters. Cinderella had to work hard, while the others slept well into the day. She wake up each morning to cook meals for everyone, do laundry, clean the house, and still got yelled at. "What a mess you are." Her 2 stepsisters used to laugh at her. Meanwhile, in the palace, something else was going on. King and Queen had a meeting with the prince. It was time for the prince to find a bride. So, the king and queen were going to have a ball. All of the young ladies in the land were invited to come to the ball. They were wild with joy. Cinderella also wanted to join the ball night, but she got extra household work from her stepmother and cunning sisters. Every woman in town wears their most beautiful gown and fixes their hair extra nicely. They all wanted to be chosen by the prince. Cinderella was busy with her household chores. And on the other side, everyone was enjoying the palace party. Cinderella was very sad. She was desperate for the ball night. Then suddenly a fairy appears in front of her. "Who are you?" asked Cinderella. "Your fairy godmother, of course," said Fairy. "I know your wish, and I have come to grant it. I want to go to the ball too." Cinderella looked down at her dirty clothes. "But look at me." Then, Fairy tapped her wand on Cinderella's head, and at once, Cinderella was dressed in a beautiful blue gown. She was looking like a princess. Fairy tapped her wand again, and a beautiful carriage came to be, with a driver and 4 white horses. "But there is one thing you must know." "What is that?" asked Cinderella. "You must be sure to leave the ball before midnight. After midnight, everything will go back to how it was before," answered the fairy. Cinderella reached at her destination. Prince was surrounded by other girls, but his eyes was on one girl, who was enjoying by herself. She was looking so pretty. Prince asked Cinderella to dance with him. Prince felt a leap in his heart. He and Cinderella danced. When the song was over, they danced again. They laughed and talked. "Ding dong," said the clock. Cinderella looked up. "I must go," said Cinderella. She ran to the steps. "Stop for a moment," said the prince. One glass slipper fell off her foot on the stair. But Cinderella didn't stop. Prince chased Cinderella, but he could not stop her. Prince couldn't sleep at night as he was missing Cinderella. From house to house went the prince. One young woman after another tried to fit her foot inside the glass slipper. At last the prince came to Cinderella's house. Her stepmothers and sisters also tried to fit in shoe but could not. Then comes Cinderella as she put on the slippers. The prince knew. She is the one. Cinderella's sisters looked jealous. But now Cinderella was a pretty bride. She got married to a charming prince, and they lived happy ever after.